Welcome to my Get to Know You activity. This is something I have done on the first day of school. I've seen other people do similar things. I think it really resonates with kind of a younger crowd, middle school, high schoolers, using things that they already do and know. I always start with stuff in multiple languages. I teach in a very multilingual classroom, so I always like to have somebody walk in and see a word they recognize. Quick agenda, I would do, we're going to create a Facebook profile, and working in a restorative justice school, students would be familiar with the concept of the restorative circle and the rules, so doing a restorative circle. So here's mine. I would use this as an introduction of myself to students. Facebook is a profile that they're familiar with, that they see a lot, or at least use a lot. I have seen teachers do this with Twitter or Snapchat, or depending on the age group. I picked Facebook because it's easy. It lets me tell about myself to new students and kind of give them the format. So my hobbies, things I like, where I'm from. Again, I have mostly immigrant students, so it lets them say that. 3 things about myself, or 3 things that I did, and how I'm feeling today. So here's the blank one. I absolutely took pictures of them and printed it out and put them on the page. It was great because one year that I did this, I saved them all, and on the last day of school, I gave them back so that they could see what they wrote on the first day of school, what they looked like, and especially in a middle school, high school, they changed so much in one year. So it was interesting even just to see their physical changes. I do give them a sentence stem. So-and-so is blank about the first day of school, asking them to say their feelings. And I usually hang these on the wall with a big sign that says like our friends or profiles we like with the thumbs up for Facebook. It just makes it relatable, and it's fun, and it's creative, and they can just write, they can just draw. There's a lot of interpretation for levels of language and literacy. And I usually keep mine up on the board for an example. Then we do a restorative circle. If you're not familiar with these, they are fantastic to establish communication lines. It's what happens in the circle stays in the circle kind of ordeal. You don't have to participate, but you do have to stay there and listen. It creates a respectful environment, with the idea being that you're doing these when there's not a crisis or a problem, so that when there is a crisis or a problem, they're very familiar and they can talk about feelings and things that happened without being disruptive or confrontational. So it's great to start on the first day of school if you happen to be in a place where these are commonplace with either staff or students or both. I've had them in staff trainings, definitely done them with students, at least every other week or once a month. And it's great. And most teachers at this particular school that I did this Facebook thing at did restorative circles on the first day of school, and that was years ago, and I've continued to do it ever since just because it worked really well. But they are very interesting to do with staff as well. In our restorative circle, you always need pre-planned questions, and I like. So the first one is just, how are you feeling? And you'll get a variety of emotions: scared, happy, excited, tired. But just to give them an easy question that there's no wrong answer, try and take some pressure off. What's something you would like to learn about this year? You're going to get a lot of answers. With staff, it's really interesting because a lot of them say, I want to learn more about technology, or I want to learn more about teaching reading. With students, you get, with my second language students, almost all of them say English. Some say weird answers. I got rocketry one time. But it's a great question to really think about why you're here and why you bothered to show up today, and what you're hoping to get out of this, help you focus yourself. And then what's something you'd like help with this year? Rather than asking like, what's a weakness, or framing it in a negative way, this is something that I found is a great way to make people reflect on where I would like to improve, but also to let them know, like, I'm here to help you, and I'm going to help you with this. With students, most of all of them say writing, so it lets me know to focus a lot on writing, and I can remind them, like, hey, remember we said we were going to get help with writing, we said we were going to work on our writing, and framing that in a positive way. So there's my get to know you activities for creating positive group environments. If you are not familiar with the idea of restorative circles, I highly recommend looking into it. There's some great books and great resources out there. It has been a game changer for me across the board in terms of getting people to work as a group and trust each other. And good luck with all. Thank you.